I think when people hear the song, I Knew It, I Knew You at the end of Toy Story 5, I think that it would be really awesome if they thought of somebody that they had amazing memories with that they haven't seen in a long time, or someone that they miss, knowing that that person could come back into their life, or just the feeling that like sometimes people's paths diverge, and that doesn't mean that that's the last time that you get to feel those memories or know that person. And sometimes when you look back on your childhood, those memories, that's special in itself.
I never thought there'd be a day when I'd sit down with my hard-earned time and properly look for a Taylor Swift song to analyse. I tried with the whole showgirl thing and was very, very disappointed. My friend tried to baby please me into listening to the rest of her stuff, but I refused to be hoodwinked twice. And then Toy Story 5 happened. And I was sitting watching the movie, the song came on, and I was like, okay, I feel something, and I couldn't let it go. So here we are. It reminded me of this strange assumption we have buried inside adulthood, and it all ignited from the line, "Oh, the rivers I cried when we said goodbye," wondering if I'd made it up in my mind. Yes, I know this line is midway through the song, but that's why my ears perked up. And honestly, that's the whole point of this video, because I think we assume that distance for memories creates clarity. Let me explain what I mean by that. The older you get, the more accurately you assume you'll be able to look back at your younger self, more rationally, more objectively, as if time is a kind of editor, cutting away the exaggeration, removing the melodrama, leaving only the truth behind. And we say things like, I was young, I was dramatic, I thought it was a bigger deal than it actually was. And maybe sometimes that's true, but I think something else is also happening, and this song shows it. Psychologists call it emotional editing, the way we don't just feel things and move on, but revise them retrospectively. And the revision almost always goes in one direction, downward. We make the feeling smaller, more proportionate, more manageable than it actually was. Not because we're liars, but because the original size of it was too much to carry indefinitely into a normal life. Like you can't be crying about it every day. That's not a practical way to live, you know? So we compress it, file it away, tell ourselves a more convenient story. Not necessarily that it didn't matter, just that maybe it didn't matter quite as much as we thought. But that can be a bit dodgy because it feels like clarity. It feels like finally seeing the past without the distortion of emotion, when really what we've done is replace one version of the truth with a more manageable one. And with I Knew It, I Knew You, Taylor is basically saying like, yep, confirmed. I wasn't tripping, it was that deep. Because the details at the beginning of the song are drawn from the kind of intimacy you only get by being in someone's personal space for a long time. I memorized the sound of your barefoot steps, running wild. I knew you, all the blues like a moon ring changing colour. She knew him. That's not a vague feeling, that's years of close attention. That's real. And I think we spend a lot of time being embarrassed by how much things used to mean to us. Old friendships, old seasons of life, things that didn't make it through to where we are now. There's almost a cultural pressure to be graceful about it, to be evolved, to say yes, it was nice, but I've grown, I'm past it. And maybe you have, but moving past something doesn't mean it wasn't real. Or more accurately, as big as it seemed, it was big. And I do this a lot, and it's typically accompanied by a shrug. And truly, it's because I don't think I could handle confronting what I actually meant. The good and the bad. Mainly the bad, but that's between me and my future therapist. So, how do we actually access the past? How do we look at it properly? Well, there are two ways that I research. Don't flog me because there are likely more schools of thought here. And this line gives you the first one. But love has ways of bringing things back to life. All you said was hi. The French novelist Marcel Proust wrote about something called Mémoire involontaire, involuntary memory. The idea is this. There are two ways of accessing the past. The first is voluntary memory. You sit down, you try to remember, you think about it deliberately, and what you get back is fine. Accurate enough, but it's flat. It's the edited version, the compressed one. It gives you the facts of what happened, but not the feeling of it. Involuntary memory is completely different. It doesn't come when you call it, it ambushes you. It's triggered by something sensory and completely unexpected. A smell, a texture, a sound. and it bypasses your brain's whole filing system and drops you back into the feeling hole. An edited full size, exactly as it was before you learned to make it smaller. For me, it's the smell of Wagamama, which is why I'm convinced I've got IBS. So there's a lot going on there. But that's exactly it. That's what happens in this song. Taylor wasn't sitting around trying to remember him. She wasn't voluntarily excavating the past. She was just standing there. And then, same window, same smell, same voice. Hi. And involuntary memory did what it does. Bypassed every revision, bypassed emotional editing, the compression, the convenient story, and gave her the feeling back at full size. Now, you might be thinking, isn't that just triggering? And yes, absolutely it can be. And so as much as emotional editing can be a form of gaslighting yourself, it is also, genuinely, a protective instinct. It makes pain bearable. It lets you keep going. For those of you for whom certain memories carry real weight, real harm, I'm not here to tell you to go looking for them. Please don't. Some things are compressed for a reason. Some filing away is survival. I just don't want us to confuse protection with truth. Because sometimes we're not protecting ourselves from pain. We're protecting ourselves from the size of something that actually mattered. And those are different things. And that's what I Knew It, I Knew You is really about to me. Not whether she remembered him, she did. Not whether she loved him, we know that. But whether she could trust that the version of her who felt it, who cried those rivers, who watched him drive away, who stood there and quietly fell apart, whether that version of her was telling the truth. And all it took was one word to confirm it. She knew it, she knew him. And the years she spent making it smaller, they don't change what it was. They just show how heavy it was to carry at full size. Look, you're allowed to have felt things as much as you felt them. That's not drama, that's not immaturity, that's just you, before you learn how to edit. Please own it.